Welcome to Burning Session. Burning what?
Burning Desk Session.
Welcome to 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 Burning Desk Session.
Burning Desk Session.
Welcome to Burning Desk Session. Welcome to Burning Desk Session.
A discussion today on mental health, which will tutangalia issues how to promote wellness, especially in our emotional, psychosocial, and also just like how we maintain well-being of our mental state. Tukiinteract kama vijana, tukiinteract na other youths out there, tukiinteract na our fellow, our parents. How do we make sure that tuko sane within our interaction and that we are able to experience happiness and also well-being in our different interactions?
Mental health is when you talk about emotional, social, and psychological well-being of an individual, and how we relate to one another, from me to you, how we do our daily activities, and just everything about our daily lives when it comes from you. So okay, maybe to start with the causes, kuna kitu inaitwanga family history. Family history ni kama inherited trait from parents. So unaweza pata mtu alinherit psychological issues, ama emotional, ama mental issues from the parents. So maybe your mom alikuwa mentally ill, ama your dad alikuwa mentally ill. So chances ya wewe kupata hiyo genes, hiyo condition iko high. Ni sawa? And then another cause ni stressors. Maybe something like stress inaweza fanya develop mental illness.
For example, we are in the same school. Tumemaliza high school pamoja, then we've gone to campus. Tumemaliza campus. So kuna message maybe ushai receive from one of your best friend from campus, umekuuliza siku hizi uko wapi? Hawa say wataki kujua wewe mahali uko, wanataka kujua what are you doing with life. Unacheki? So inafika place unaona mabeshte yako maybe 5 or 6 of your best friends wame make it in life. Unacheki? But wewe bado uko hapo una struggle. Uongea na msee akwambie for example niulize uko wapi, niko Turkana, unafanya nini? Niko tu sina kazi. Uko wapi? Mimi niko Nairobi, niko na biashara, nimefungua gym, niko na nini, nimenunua gari, nini everything. So inafika mahali as kama huko you don't have that stability ya mind yako, unaweza fika place uanze kuona msee mbona huyu jamaa ana make it, tumekuwa naye campus, hata pengine hakuwa na perform better than mimi, msee alikuwa chini, make it. There are cases like that one, but inabidi come up, umetrain mind yako, umejua the possible ways of which unaweza train mind yako as in such situations. Unacheki? For example, umejua msee haja make it. Kuna different stages kuna msee ana make it akikuwa 10 years from campus, ana make kwa 10 years. Kuna msee ana make it ame graduate leo, kesho asha make it. So isifike mahali mental awareness yako as in kwa sababu ya make it hoja make it uanze kujiblame.
According to their definition, what I think about mental health, it's the psychological, social and emotional well-being of a person, and it affects the way we think, we react, and how we handle our stress and emotions. Na mimi usema treat others as you wish them to treat you. Hakuna mwenye utaka kutreatiwa vibaya. Chenye wewe una wish wakufanyie, wewe pia fanyia mwingine. so that we do good, we end up doing good to all of us. Like yeye ananifanyia vizuri, mimi namfanyia vizuri, yeye ananitreat vizuri, mimi namtreat vizuri, and the cycle goes on. Like kaa vile tuko hapa, chenye mimi nitamfanyia like ikue chenye mimi naweza tamani yeye anifanyie. Tusikue tunapeana pressure, mimi nikuwe na like aniambie in a way that siwezi tamani. Atakuwa ametempa na emotions zangu, na atakuwa amenipea stress, atakuwa amenipressure, na that way atakuwa ametempa na the entire emotion, like atakuwa ametempa na the entire mental health yangu, like socially, psychological, alafu atakuwa amenipea stress.
One of them, it can be educational difficulties. Most of the time watu umaliza high school alafu ndio kwenda university na kosa, so hiyo ina cause mental health cause maybe wazazi hawajiwezi, so una pressurize akili yako, unatamani maybe ungekuwa kama vile unaweza pata hiyo chance ya kwenda ni kufanya kosa yenye ulikuwa unataka anything. Pia most of us young people, peer pressure inatumaliza. Peer pressure inaweza cause hata uanze kutumia drugs, na drugs, the more you use drugs it can temper your mental health. Child abuse, like tusiwa hiyo pia inaweza kuharibia akili yako.
Drugs are really affecting the youth today, globally, everywhere. Many youth who are anxious end up getting into the drug life, and which is not a good idea because it really affects your mental health. It makes you to hallucinate. It gives you all sorts of depression. And today I want to break down to you guys how this thing affects your mental health. First, when you're under the influence of drugs, addiction first is a disease. That one everybody should know. If someone is addicted to any form of drug, he finally has no refuge for himself or herself. So and this is part of the therapeutic community philosophy. One who is addicted has no refuge finally for him or herself. And this is how it works. First, when someone indulges himself in drugs, there's a hormone that is usually produced that is responsible for the euphoria. I hope you guys know what euphoria is. That feeling that you're happy, either when you're toxic, that euphoric feeling. So when you continuously indulge yourself in these drugs, a different hormone now will start to be released in your body, and it's called the delta force B hormone. And this hormone, usually when you go to a rehab setup, you find that this hormone, the delta force B hormone, it is usually written in brackets, do it now. This hormone, it's a deadly one. This one, that's why you find people even 3 a.m. in the night, someone wakes up and he goes, takes 1 or 2 beers. That is the delta force B hormone working in him. It's not that he's not human or he's inhuman or he's stupid. No, he's under hormones. He's under the delta force B hormone, and that hormone is really pathetic to one's life. It will make you a laughing stock in the community, and only for a professional to understand you, itakuwa imefika late. Things would have turned out to be bad. So one of the main reasons that really affects someone's mental health is consumption of drugs.
When you're talking about mental health, remember it's like a spectrum. So there's the extreme end where now you're mentally well, you're feeling peace with yourself, you have you're feeling at peace with yourself, you are in sort of like a self-actualization state. And then now there's the extreme far end where there's now mental illness that only it needs some medical prescription to handle. And then now there's here in the middle where we are, where you're either feeling good about you're not stable really. Sometimes you feel good, sometimes you feel really low, and that is where young people are So I've worked with campus students in 4 universities in Kenya, and our work was generally to make sure that these conversations are happening in the university and people are talking about sort of what are the interaction, what is their state while they're doing their studies, and how we did it, because sometimes just sitting down and talking might not be something, you know, like that other people fancy. So we use theater for development, where we act out real life situations. For example, if it's suicide, you know, some of these things. Funny thing about mental health issues is we always have the solutions. We always know how to react, how to handle ourselves, but it just needs some sort of poking for us to actually, you know, come to that awareness. So we do theater session. So we act out, for example, if it's someone who just got into drugs, we act it out, like how can that situation play out, and then we invite the audience. So now if you are acting out for you guys, we invite you to now reflect and think through, if I was not going to, if I could have done anything different to not end up in a very depressed state, addicted, in addiction state, what will that look like? So in that element, you find people now just coming and saying, hey, you know, you could have done this, you could have gone to church, maybe talk to friends, maybe, I don't know, focus more or look more into your personality, because also mental health really looks into your personality, looks into your attachment styles, looks into your dependency. How do you depend on if it's material things, how do you depend on friends? That can also affect your mental health. And then how do you bounce back in case you have like a very, very bad situation, for example, if it's grieving. So after acting it out and then engaging people to now think through reflections, you find that it's now very, I don't know, like people just start now thinking through how better they can make themselves, so that at the end of the day, you're not feeling so drained, you know, so bad, so sad about yourself, but you're feeling empowered. You're feeling like today was a good day. Maybe it's practicing gratitude. Maybe it's being productive. Sometimes people gain energy through productivity.
Another cause of mental health is the impairment of the neurotransmitters in the brain. So wakati hiyo ni medically sasa uniko so kuna hiyo neurotransmitters ikiwa impaired, then kuna chance unaweza kuwa na some issues with your mental state. So and then let's go out there. Kuna vitu kama hallucinations, kuna depression, kuna delusions, kuna paranoia. Okay. Mimi nikiwa shule tulikuwa tunaambiwa unaweza pata someone like an army ametoka training. So wakati alikuanga huko, kuna ali experience watu friends wake wenye wali train na yeye wakaenda kwa field na sasa ni job. And then wakati walikuwa na fight, friends wake wakauawa next to him, and then wali bleed, wakakufa. So unapatanga akirudi home anakuanga na kitu inaitwa PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, unaona. So something like that can make or cause that condition. So you see, someone like this might have to have this for the rest of their lives, unaona. Anaweza ishi if they are not treated, kama hawezi realize mapema and then aende a treat. And then kuna mtu kama mwenye ali experience rape at an early age. Mtu kaa huyo unaweza pata anaweza ishi na with that guilt and that thing for the rest of their lives. Anakaanga tu akikumbuka, and then vitu kama hizi pia inafanyanga msee anajidetach from people because of akikumbuka yeye ako hivi, and then unapatanga mtu anakuwa na vitu kama stigma, anakuwa na stigma. But me, by the way, I hate stigma. Na sipendi kuona mtu akifanyia like ukijaribu kudharau mtu according to what they undergoing. It's really bad. Let's really avoid stigmatization. So inaweza cause your stigma, and then unapata msee ana detach from the social group yenye alikuanga nayo juu maybe, alafu pia ina cause paranoia. Unaona, ukipatanga wasee wanaongea ujue hata walikuwa wanaongelea nini. That's what paranoia means. Ujue wanaongelea nini, wewe ukifika tu pale unaanza kususpect ni kama ni wao walikuwa wanaongelea. Unaona, so that's how this thing in affect this social group. And then mimi naweza sema ukirealize these signs and symptoms mapema, please enda tafuta daktari. Ukirealize tu mapema, go and see a psychiatrist ama utafute your primary medical person.
Naweza sema mental health hauwezi, yani naweza sema yani lazima sisi wote venye tuko hapa saa hizi kuna ule anapitia maybe ija grow sana, lakini ani kwa life lazima kila msee ako na hiyo shida. So mtu kama mimi naweza sema venye nilitoka, maybe mimi nimekuwa bandit, so life yangu nimekuwa pale huko, nimekuwa bush nikifuga mifugo, nimeona wasee wengi wakisafa huko. So mimi nilienda shule ya Catholic, maybe ndo nika avoid vitu kaa hizo. Sasa hivi maybe ningekuwa napitia, nakumbuka mabeste wengine niliwaluzu huko, kitu kama hiyo. So vitu kama hiyo naweza sema unatafuta good company ama friends, good company. Naweza sema good company, maybe uende penye iko busy sana, maybe kama somebody like me naweza sema maybe kama pale picha ya bake unapata friends nini mna nini vitu mob hapo, at least itakutoa hiyo mental health ipotee kabisa.
Hakuna mtu hii dunia ako normal. No one is normal. Like kila mtu ako abnormal in a way. Si lazima nikue kwa streets mimi ni mandazimu, hapana. We are abnormal in our own different way. We are not normal, by the way. Hata mimi najua I'm not normal. Yeah, if you study that you will understand.
Poverty na depression inachangia sana kwa mental health ya wase different. For example, you need something. For example, say you need unataka do, hauwezi pata hiyo do. Unataka hiyo do, ndio unataka hiyo do, unataka kutumia, hauwezi pata hiyo do. Unaomba msee do, msee hawezi kupatia do. Unacheki? So inafika place unaanza kufikiria sana. Unaona mzazi ya huyu akitaka kitu anapata. Mimi nikitaka kitu siwezi pata. So unaanza kufikiria. Na ile time sasa unaanza kufikiria hiyo sana, mind yako inaanza kufanya nini? Inaanza kuharibika. Unaanza kufikiria vitu zingine, vitu kama unataka sijui nijiue, sijui nifanye nini, uiba.
Unaanza kuwa depressed.
Wewe ni kufikiria tu. Unacheki? Kitu kingine ni for example nimepata nawe Lore, venye niko hivi saa hii. Tumekaa nawe kitu kama 5 years hatujapatana, si ndio? Ndio nimesoma ndio, but each and every time sina do. Mimi nikipata na wewe nikulia tu, sina do, nimesota. As in na mimi niko lazy, but I'm not lazy. As in me na work hard. I'm working hard each and every time, but kila kitu nikifanya inaenda sawa. Hakuna kitu itakupatia ile motisha, as in nini ku motivate kwa ile kitu unafanya. So inafika mahali unaenda unajifungia kwa kirumu, unafikiria nifanye nini. So as much as tunaongelea the biological part ama hizi vitu zingine, the mental, tunaongelea hizi vitu za mwili, hizo nimesema this time kuna kitu ameiongelea sijaipata poa, but please let us focus on the hormones. Ile hormones ameongelea, tuangalie depression ya wasee wako depressed sana huko hivi. Hakuna msee anaweza enda kupata msee amuulize. Hakuna, yani hawezi share na mtu because hakuna hiyo platform. Msee anapitia mambo mengi sana, but ile platform ya yeye kukuja kushare na msee amwambie mimi I'm going through this, na apate ule msee anaweza muadvise mzuri, apate ile solution, ni ngumu sana. Alafu poverty level tutafanya aje? Msee wako huku nje hawana kitu, waibe.
Unapata maybe Najua sasa tunataka tuongelee ile kitu ina affect community, ile direct, ile inaweza ni affect si ati msee yako mbali. Maybe unaweza pata upande pia juu sasa youth wengi story in relationship sana, wako kwa relationship mob sana. So unapata umeingia relationship nyingine unapelekwa mbio sana. Maybe ulikuwa unataka kusettle na msee fulani, umeona? So unapata maybe huyo mtu ndio umemweka kwa roho. So unapata kidogo ametoka na mtu fulani kitu kama hiyo. Na maybe wewe huyo ni mtu umezaa naye watoto. Umecheki. Maybe ni wife ama ndio una plan naye life. Unapata anatoka kuja kuchukuliwa ameenda club, wewe pale umekaa home. Ukiambiwa hata maybe unajua maybe umemweka kwa roho, unataka maybe end that relationship, but unaona uwezi kwa sababu maybe kuna mtoto uko hapo, mtu yeye anaweza suffer na umependa ule msee. Hiyo pia naona kwa mabeste wangu ni kitu iko pia kwa mtaa sana. So kitu kama hiyo natafuta wasee waanze kuongelea. So hata hiyo ndio nataka wasee waanze kudiscuss kwa sababu hiyo ndio kitu ina affect maboi wetu wengi sana. Hata yani tu maboys wengi sana mtaa. Hiyo ndio kitu ina affect. So sitaki tuongelee vitu zingine za mbali. Maybe hiyo jai mimi at least naona ile kitu at least nimeshuhudia. Najua ndio nataka at least isaidie msee. Juu sasa najua msee akienda kuochi kitu home itashika msee fulani aone tumemjenga mahali.
Unaweza pata kuna mtu anafanya kitu juu best yake anafanya. And the good thing is always like the good thing more nasema you just accept yourself the way you are. Like don't try to compete na mtu fulani because you don't know the level, like you don't know their background, you don't know her ability, na there's some other things like you cannot just force it. And then you get yourself unajingiza kwa some other groups enye like you know yourself better that watu wako in another level enye mimi pia sizi nikafikia, but you just want to try and fix yourself up hivyo. And this thing like it will torture your mind to an extent that you can think of something else. Like if you want some money you can just think of going and do something like kitu yenye maybe itaku affect baadaye but maybe you don't know about. Like okay, you're just ignoring. That is what most of the teenagers and some youths like they're just facing. And then some other people, they don't have that ground ya kwenda kupata. Let's say if you have a best friend or maybe someone you can trust with, you can trust the person and share it with the person, you see. So at least when you have something enye inakusumbua kwa akili, find that one person, you talk your things out, you just pour whatever it is in your mind so that at least anaweza kukuadvise. You can share some other things like let's say labda most of like unaweza pata mnashare na that person like you are on like wewe msee mko na level moja enye atakusikiliza, understand na jua ni nini unapitia, akakuadvise basing on whatever you're going through, kushinda ikusumbue akili bure and then you end up doing some other things like enye itaku affect baadaye.
Let's stop judging people out there and we don't understand how it came up. Instead, let's try to help them. History unaona msee anafanya kitu ama maybe unaweza ona msee hapo nje unaona maybe msee hayuko sawa ama maybe amechizi. Let's stop judging them. Msee amechizi, achana huyo msee. It's like you're judging them. Instead, try to help them. Go to the ground, find what was the cause. Ni nini ilifanya msee akafika hapa? Wewe ujui ni nini alipitia ndio kamfikisha penye yako. Go to the ground, kana yeye chini, muulize bro ni aje uko hivi naona unakuanga vile. Usiogope, just go and face them. If you want to help them, go and talk to them, find out the root cause, try to help them instead of talking about them. Ukimwongelea kuna venye utakuwa unamsaidia, ndio utakuwa na worsen the situation. Just let's help them and stop judging them.
Mental health involves our emotions, psychologically, and our social well-being. So it affects how we think, feel, and act. So this also determines how we handle stress, how we receive our feelings. Like kuna ile unaweza kuwa na ile negativity in life. ile negative things insha happen mostly in your life, so ina determine vile umereceive na umeiweka. Kwangu mostly I use a stress reliever as music. Music is one of my best doctors.
Let us try and be cautious of what we feed our mind with, or rather feed our brain with. There is something called PPT. It's given the acronym PPT, which means people, places, things. In general, it means it's like environment in short. So let us be cautious of what we feed our brain with. People. Let's start with people. The people you associate with, it defines the person you are. People, friends. These are really strong energy that is part of your life. The people you associate with. Let's go to places. The places you expose yourself to. I don't know if you guys are hearing this. Yeah, it's better I speak the naked truth if it hurts anyone. I'm just being sincere. Yeah, and the things we watch, the things we do. That's also another thing we should be cautious of. So in short, jaribu kukaa rada, usijidanganye ati I can handle this. No, you're human, man. You're prone to weakness. So anytime, anywhere you can mess up. So just wewe tu kaa rada na vitu zenye unafanya place huko, mabeshto uko na. You just try and put boundaries when it comes to your personal life. That is in regard to other people outside. Try not to be in denial. Denial is really eating up many people and they don't know it. Especially learned people, they think they have the capacity to turn nature around.
For me personally, ways I've been trying to protect my mental well-being is, funny thing is, even if you read about it, you can have the knowledge, but you have to be intentional. You have to want to grow. You have to want to come out of a bad situation. So if you figure out that bit, and if you come to that realization that you are meant to be more, you are meant to be bigger, you are meant to be better, then it's very easy to now start working, doing the self growth, self-betterment. Also, another thing I wanted to mention is just understanding your why. I think sometimes we are really confused, especially as young people, because much as we've gone to school, we don't still have our why. And it sounds a cliche, maybe it's like your purpose, but once you figure out what is that one thing that drives you, then it's very it becomes a bit easy to structure yourself in ways that grows you. So also just trying to find a question I keep on asking myself to answer that question is, if you're given right now like $1 million, because at the end of it we all want money, like that is where our fight is. So if you're given so much money, what will you do first? What will you do with that money? If it's buying, I don't know, for some people it will be, I don't know, to go to school, maybe you want to grow academically. If you answer that question, then you're in the right track of answering your why, because then now money aside, who are you? What are you, like, where are you journeying better towards? The power of community. Also try to find community, because sometimes our head, when you're always in your head, you always try to, sometimes it can be like your biggest enemy, your biggest victimizer. So trying to find a community where you can have discussions, places where you can be going, even once a week, people you can talk to. It really also helps to ground you, because you need some sort of grounding to help you deal with mental health issues. In a way, it just helps you to release, talk about your issues, and then also interact with people. When you're in isolation, it's very detrimental, to how you handle your mental health issues. So try to find a community. And lastly, also practice gratitude, because I feel like sometimes we beat ourselves so much and we forget of all these things, good things that are going on. We just focus on one bad thing, and then now we stay there. We start over-analyzing that one bad thing, and we just make it a whole big thing that ends up to now become our stress issue. Our entire life become revolve around now that one issue. So if you maybe start practicing gratitude, writing it down daily, I don't know, talking positive things about yourself. One thing is, we've not figured out life, but people have best practice. So even like also ingesting those good information from people who have lived here for a long time, for short time, but things are working out well for them.
Recently, I've been going through some things with my daily life, and I'm like, I want to go somewhere, but I'm like, vitu zangu ziko stuck, inanisumbua my mental state. And then someone else told me, and then mimi nikiwanga na shida venye tu amesema, napenda kubase, like napenda kukaa hapo, like just sticking on that, and inakuwa ni kama yani sometimes I just feel like I just want to be there, focusing on my problems and not seeing the goodness in it. And someone told me, what is it that is good, or what is it that is good that you can find in there? And please, can't you just try and find happiness in there? What are the good things that has been happening in between this time? Can you try to figure out, can you try to comprehend and meditate and think about it, and just think about the goodness and the happiness, the happy moments you've been through at that period of time, and onasemanga, focus on that, yeah? Focus on that. It will bring something good out of it. Usikue tu unabakingi pale you just want to measure on your problems, you see, and so major on major and minor on minor. So so let's try to measure on the good things and not on bad things, as she said. Yeah.
Mi ningeweza suggest that issue moja yenye tulikuwa tumesahau na pia inaweza kuwa solution to itself ni being close to one another, because me realize that nowadays people don't have conversations, like deep conversations, because me wanna do watu meet ni aje poa watch game jana, then wanaanza kudiscuss vile game ilienda ama maybe vile church ilikuwa, but hakuna msee mwenye anaweza pata tu mtu amuulize ni aje wewe ukoje, then mtu aanze kumwagia feelings zake that mimi na go through hii na hii na hii na hii. Wana discuss two issues za juju vile siku imekuwa, then wanaenda. But if you try to have a deep conversation with that person, you might end up realizing that anapitia vitu mob zenye like in real sense mtu anahitaji msaada. So see, nowadays hatunanga hizo discussions, like conversations na mabeshte zetu. That's why you find that kwa campus unapata mtu anajinyonga, mtu ameingia ameanza issues za drugs, ndo like cause ana mtu karibu wa kuongelea na hizo issues ama wa kumsaidia, anaenda up kufanya vitu zake na in the end maybe anakufa, ana commit suicide ama ana drop out of school. Lorea hapa hivi ako na beshte na amepoteza beshte ama brother yake, for instance. Kwa mfano wengi wetu tunaenda maombolezi, tukishamaliza maombolezi, mazishi, then hiyo story inaisha. Hakuna mtu mwenye ufuatilia like after mazishi ni aje, unaendeleaje, una feel aje. Hakunanga watu ufanye, na kama wako ni wachache, na hiyo pia uchangia hizi stories za mental health. Mtu anakaa anaangalia, kwani walikuwa wanangoja tumalize mazishi alafu waishie, wakule tu mchele ama githeri waishie. Ni kweli hadi OC msee ukaa msiki ya kwanza after umeadmitiwa, anakaa na machungwa wa maembe, hata ongei, anakuja tu ana drop hapo, alafu anakaa mnauliza ni aje fiti, umelalaje, na anaishia. Hizi kama at least am comfort, amwambie ni aje, utapona, iko hivi na hivi na hivi, acha nikuangalie daktari akuja kuangalia kidogo. Mtu anakaa, mtu ana drop hizo stuffs, then mnakaa, hata mnaweza kaa bila kuongea so long as mmesalamiana, then ikifika matime anamkaa naishia. haizi taka kujua like wewe ukoje, una feel aje, progress, then akutie moyo kidogo, utapona, tunakumiss, vitu kama hizo. Like ni rare sana. Ama mwingine kama ana pesa ya kubuy hizo fruits, haizi kama anasema sasa niende nitapeleka nini. Sometimes pia presence will matter, na hiyo conversation yenye mta have na huyo mtu. Na kama ni wewe beshte yako ameamua kumwagia siri zake zote, like ile ndio umsaidie, please. Kama ni like amekuja kukuambia kitu na anahitaji msaada, usikuwe mtu wa kuenda kuambia wengine like ati ule jamaa anapitia hii na hii na hii, ama ule jamaa anafanyanga hii na hii na hii, like vitu stuffs mbaya, ule jamaa ni mwizi, ule jamaa ni nini. Wewe uliambiwa ndio usaidiane, but wewe umeanza kutangaza. Baadaye wale wasio wataenda wamcheke, na hiyo itakuwa imeaffect mentality yake. Utakuwa umemwongezea stress badala ya kumsaidia.
Let us try to see positivity in the negative side. Let us try to see positivity in something negative. I'm speaking from a rehab setup, so it's best you try and detach yourself from the outside world that was bringing you issues to do with your mental health. And it is usually advised you stay for a minimum of 3 months. Minimum of 3 months, because by the way, it only takes 3 months for you to change your character. One character. It takes for you 3 months to change one character. So in a year you can change 4 characters in you. So that's one thing. Another thing is you try and indulge yourself in a project. In a project, meaning you can plant a seedling, give it a timeline. Let's say you water it like for 3 months. That is healthy, because your mind coordination with the project will help you abstain from many things. Another thing is you try and write down on paper. You try and write what you've done today that you used to never do. Let's say you're used to waking up at 9. You say, oh, today I woke up at 6. Such things. You try and write the do's that you don't do. Another thing is try and seek therapy at least 1 or 2 times in a month, because one thing that I've noticed, especially from our families, let's say if someone is undergoing a certain problem, you find that the family is not understanding, but a professional can understand it. So it is better your family comes for therapy in your presence and discuss your issues out, because at the end of the day it is your family that you'll end up staying with. So if they don't get to understand you, then you'll go back to square one. So I think that's another solution to mental health when it comes to addiction. Jibambe, enda swimming, listen to music, jifurahishe. Just find happiness. Jibambe to listen to music, go swimming, find friends, mpige story, tafuta activities where you can involve yourself in.
Basically, you to forget about your past and focus on your present.
Sipate tu advice bure ba. Kama msee ni msiki, peleke hospitali. Kama msee amelemewa ana food, mpatie food. Kama msee amesota, find the ways to kusaidia huyo msee. Let us come with the possible ways kabisa kusaidia huyo msee. Kama msee amemake it ku reach, please make sure unakuja na the possible way ya kumsaidia. Please. Na kwa wale wasee maybe uko na connections, usipige tu msee simu, umekuwa naye campus, umemaliza naye, unamuuliza uko wapi nini, uko na connection, connect wasee. Patia msee job afanye. So unajua kuna hiyo qualities, zako na qualification, patia job afanye. At least ile mentality ya poverty itatoka ndani yake. At least he or she can be a good person instead.